channels they don't even watch. They want to see certain things. And that's what we do here. We are streaming television, and what we are about is economic unity. Here in the state of New Jersey, this state, New Jerseyans, you spent last year $475 billion. Of that $475 billion, $132 billion was spent by brown and black people. So Platinos and collard greens is doing it here in the state of New Jersey to the tune of $132 billion. What we do a bad job about urban New Jersey is we don't spend that with each other. We do a bad job, and then we complain about what the majority community does not do for us. But Tariq, if you got $132 billion and you spend $131 billion on everybody else, can you really complain to them?
Not at all.
I mean, you've given it to them, urban New Jersey, and so this show is about 4 principles, primarily resting on economic unity on a spiritual base. And so there are 4 principles on which the Matthews broadcast was founded, and on which it continues to operate. The first is divine alignment, alignment with your Creator. The second is divine empowerment. You are far more powerful than you even know. Upliftment, of course, we have to hold on to each other. We've often heard each one teach one. Grab onto somebody's hand and pull them up. When you got in the door at St. Michael's Medical Center in your lofty position, Erica, I'm sure you brought somebody along with you.
Yes, I did.
We're not supposed to get to where we're going and close the door. I want to be the only one here. No, no, no. So upliftment, and finally enrichment. We have got to do better in terms of economic unity. So on this Money Monday, as christened by Ken Cash Money Carter, the purpose of this broadcast every Monday is to help us to get the capital that we need for real estate and the capital that we need for business. And so before moving into the show, I want to introduce our audience to a friend of mine for a very long time who has a very successful practice in Mercer County in this space of health and wellness, but her practice is really based upon a mind-body energy principle. So she's here to set the atmosphere for us. We thank her for being a Money Monday sponsor, along with Paychex Corporation, along with TD Bank, along with Verizon, and along with Think and Profit Corporation, which is the primary sponsor of Money Mondays. And so I'm going to introduce to you who don't know her, and to you who do, welcome her. Her name is Miss Samut Scott, and her business is Mama Yoga Health and Wellness out of Mercer County, and she's going to set the tone for the evening by telling us how to put ourselves in the mindset of prosperity. Samut, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be a part of the Matthews broadcast. And you know, the thing about prosperity, right? People hear health and wellness coach, and they say, well, how does that align with prosperity? How does that infuse into understanding that I need $25, $35, $1,000 for my business? As you know, our next host and speaker, Ken Cash Money Carter, I think I like that, is going to share with you. But real prosperity, is an inner job. That's inner work. I mean, you can get to $25, $35, $45,000, but if you don't have congruency with good stewardship, if you don't have, alignment with understanding your value in the marketplace, if you don't have empowered connection to your divine source, then that $25, $35, $45,000 is going to do more harm than good. So what we want to do then is begin to kind of set the tone, not just for a band-aid approach, but begin to ask our viewers and listeners to take a look internally and see what, yes, getting that amount of money or the money that you need can do to take your business to the next level, but now what other accompaniments, what other character, persona, and daily habits and practices one needs to increase, expand upon, correct, and alter in order to be a success, mind, body, and energy. And then the material manifestations are a cherry on top, if you will. They are, in fact, extra or gravy, as we say. Gravy on that rice, like we say in the Southern tradition.
Well, Cornelius, I asked her to come here to bless us. So would you bless us? I want you to bless the Matthews broadcast with all that you just said. I hope we're doing the work.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident that you're doing the work. From what I know
That's right.
of the Matthews broadcast, it's not really about an individual. You know, it's about the collective, because that is the time that we're in, right? The time for greed and conflict and competition has really passed, right? The energy on the planet has turned a corner. It is now about cooperation, collaboration, and harmony. If I come up a little bit by being on the Matthews broadcast, then that allows everybody in that network the opportunity to come up.
Sure.
Because I may need to send my child to a charter school or refer them to a good wellness clinic or center or send them to the Cash Money Carter man for some money. You see, so all of us coming together,
That's right.
it really is a blessing, you know, and a blessed partnership that we're building here.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us that piece. And we look forward to having you again. How can our viewers get in contact with you so they can hire you for your seminars or for speaking engagements? I also know that you teach at schools. You have a principal of a charter school, very well run, well known, Leaders for Life
Yes.
charter school here. So if Al Tariq wanted to hire you to talk to his young people, how would he do that?
Well, Mama Yoga's Wellness is my brand, and we have two divisions. One is we teach K through 12 mindfulness, healthy living, and yoga skills as life skills. The second division is for our corporate organizations, where we teach employees the practice of mindfulness at work so they don't go postal. I'm just going to say that. So my company is a long-standing brand. This is our our 8th year, and I can be reached on all social media platforms. MamaYogaWellness.com is our website address, and of course we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we have a long-standing, very well-respected track record of introducing mind-body energy practices, yoga and mindfulness practices in urban school centers. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
And thank you for being here. Ken Cash Money Carter, would you enter stage right? And Ms. Scott, thank you for being with us. We will have you on frequently, as I know, and we look forward to expanding the relationship.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
having
being
me.
with us. Somebody left a hat here, man. Maybe I can keep. That's yours, Ken? All
I'm
right.
warmed up for you.
The man himself. Come on in, sir. And I know you have a lot of power-packed stuff for us because
Good
we
evening.
need that capital.
Good evening. Good evening.
Absolutely.
Glad to be with Ken again this week. And again, his focus here on the Matthews broadcast. I know one of the things we often hear, people get into real estate investment, but they can't get the capital. People get into their business, but they can't get the capital. So Ken, while you're here, Mr. Cash Money, tell me exactly how Think and Profit helps to change that equation.
Okay, that's a good question. Let me first welcome the guests, Mr. White and give me
Miss Asbury.
Ms. Asbury. I am the Vice President and Director of Sales and Marketing for Think and Profit Consulting. What we do is financial services. We do commercial lending and CFO advisory. Now, what that simply means is we provide the money for you, but not only do we provide the money, we provide the advice, processes when people, many people that have businesses and they know what they do, but they don't know how to manage the other ancillary things, like managing the money, like doing the marketing. And that's what we do, so that you reach success much, much faster. That's what we do here at Think and Profit. And that's why we're excited every time we get in front of business people like yourself. But what I like to do And let me first address your question. What was your question, sir?
Well, my question is, how do you change the equation from what we often hear? I was at a home buyer symposium at the Grand Orient Lodge on Spring Street in Newark just this Saturday with one of our members, Maya Smith. Again, we had about 120 people there trying to learn how to buy their first home. And what were they talking about? How do I get the money? Greater Newark Economic Development Corporation had me in to be a speaker to talk to their newest class of about 60 entrepreneurs. And what were the entrepreneurs saying? Hey, Mr. Matthews, how do I get the money? I need $25,000. I want to do a print business. I want to buy a franchise. How do I get the money? So my question to you, Ken, is how does Think and Profit change the equation? Because apparently the big banks are not lending to our community and helping them get a proper start.
No, they are not, unfortunately. And that's why we exist today. Because when your bank says no, we say yeah. And we don't just take an application and go through the processes. We look at all of the processes around your business. We do an assessment of it and to try and figure out the best financial approach for you, and then we offer you CFO advisory services. That is, we're helping you with all the other processes that you need to be successful, and we don't leave you until you get there. Sometimes it might be a year, sometimes it might be 5 years, but we don't stop until you are where you want to arrive. And so, with respect to qualifying for loans, let's say, for example, young entrepreneurs, you guys have been in business for a while. And by the way, we not only do this service for profit-making entrepreneurial businesses, but nonprofit businesses as well. Because nonprofits have to be profitable too, don't they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Tariq said true.
Yeah.
You got to pay to keep the lights on all the time.
Absolutely. So we there are some tremendously profitable nonprofit organizations, and we want you guys to be one of them.
Absolutely.
That's what we offer. That's the service we offer. But we take a really thin layer of effort when we don't go and check out all your areas of business and your processes. And that's what most banks do. They take a cursory look, and then they say, okay, well, give me the application fee and we'll give you a call. That's not what we do.
Right.
We want to be a part of your business growth, because as you grow, we grow.
Right.
And that's the whole idea. And too many business owners, particularly small entrepreneurs, have come to us after having failed to get that loan. And even some of those businesses had reasonably good credentials that include credit and all the rest. But you know, right in our communities today, we still have this whole question of redlining, don't we?
Absolutely.
And so that's the thing that we're warring against. That's the thing that we're warring against. But let me go on. I'd like to start by asking you guys some questions about your business. Can I do that? Excellent, excellent. Now, the first question I have for you is, what is the name of your business?
I work for St. Michael's Medical Center, which is, I work for the foundation as well as the hospital itself. Recently, we were just took over by Prime Healthcare, and I run an infectious disease clinic on top of the foundation.
Okay.
And what we do, we have about 1,020 consumers, and we provide medical services as well as what one would call social service needs with medical case management as well as case management. Under my authority, I have 5 doctors who provide all ranges of medical care, as well as 3 nurses, 5 medical case managers, and supporting staff.
Okay, great. Wow, you've got a big organization you're overseeing over there. That's awesome. Now, how long have this business existed?
Well, the St. Michael's in general has existed in Newark for many, many years.
Okay.
The foundation attached to it as well. I came in to revamp the clinic itself because there was a standard of nonprofit, which it was Trinitas Hospital. Well, not Trinitas, Trinity.
Trinity, okay.
Yes, it was Trinity Healthcare, but then Prime came in, and Prime is a for-profit.
For profit.
Yes, so that changed our JARA when it came to us being still considered a 501c3 and the foundation also being a 501c3. So now we are operating independently
As
of
a
sorts.
501c3?
Yes.
I see. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that takes on more responsibility because we do not have the support of a hospital in which at one time they were a 501c3. So everything, like you said, is down to the line.
Yes. Now, are you guys, part of your charge doing fundraising and as a foundation?
Yes, we have a couple of different organizations that we partnership with. One is the NEMA, which is Newark eligible metropolitan area, meaning that there are more than 2,000 individuals in the city of Newark alone that are HIV positive. We also do what is called a Consumery Advisory Board. And what we do there is we do peer-on-peer information and education. And we often talk to youth, and we do a lot of fundraising for education. I've had nurses fly in from the Midwest to talk about medication and how it affects you, because our biggest obstacle is to get an individual who is newly positive onto medication.
I see. Now, given that you're a nonprofit working under the umbrella of a profit-making organization, how are you capitalizing? Were you capitalized by the hospital, or how, as a nonprofit, how are you continuing to capitalize, and what are you doing now to bring dollars in?
We're still doing right now the transition, because it's only been about, I'm going to say about roughly 2 years. So we are just, for lack of better words, separating ourselves
I see.
from the entity as a whole, because we have our biggest funder is Ryan White, which
Okay.
is the federal government.
Yes.
And they provide a majority of our funding, but we are allotted to do fundraisers, and we often do usually within the setting of, I'm going to say, somewhere around, the last fundraiser we did was somewhere around, I'm going to say $5,000 was what we brought in.
I see.
And it was a small fundraiser, and we often do fundraisers for events based on the needs of the people. So now we just did a fundraiser where we created a food pantry. We never had a food pantry.
Okay.
So now we've partnershiped with the New Jersey Food Bank to provide services of healthy eating for our clients. And now we'll be doing a fundraiser for Thanksgiving, because a lot of our consumers live below the poverty level and they do not have the means, or can they get the means to have a proper meal at Thanksgiving.
I see. So, the financial challenges that you're facing right now, kind of separating yourself, trying to be independent, you're doing some small fundraisers. What are some financial challenges that you're facing now that you need to address going forward?
We have to go, being a nonprofit, we have to go, everything has to go through the for-profit entity, because they are the big umbrella and we're the small guys
Yes.
standing under it. It's often, the process itself is often difficult to get things done in a timely basis. I'm very efficient with being on time
I see.
and trying to start and finish a certain project with efficiency. And being that we are in this partnership, for lack of better words, it can be difficult. It can be difficult, but I'm trying to smoosh. I'm trying to get the ear of the
Yes.
ones that write the check.
Okay.
And say this is okay, Erica. So like I said, little by little, I'm working my way in the door. I got my foot in there so far. I'm
Okay.
trying to get my arm.
Well, you got to get the whole body in there.
Yeah,
at
I'm
one
trying
point
to work
get
on
what
it.
you want.
Yes.
So then, Erica, what is the financial outlook? What's your vision for your foundation going forward?
Well, the foundation itself is supportive of the 501c3 and the clinic itself, but the services. I'm big on services, and when you're talking about in the state of New Jersey, you're still going against 1,500 new cases a year. It hasn't gone down, and the services, are really going down because the federal government is not giving that money the way they used to. So we are looking into other avenues. We are thirsty for other avenues to keep the client base and the social services that are needed up to par.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'll have to have that conversation later again,
Well,
privately.
I had a question for you. The gentleman sitting to your right has a charter school in the city of Newark. Would the foundation be in a position to help Leaders for Life raise funds, or is your relationship with the Prime, I think, is the new parent company?
Yeah.
Would that prohibit you from
Well-
providing support and services to Leaders for Life?
Oh no, I mean there are always, see, I always have a back door. I never leave myself in a room without at least two exits. So with saying that, even Prime excel themselves as an overall umbrella, there are ways that can be supportive of another organization that would be separate but independent of Prime, but definitely a partnership with the Clinic Foundation.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Okay, great. Now, one of the questions that we ask businesses that come in front of us and share their information about how they're moving forward successfully, we ask them, what is a great referral for your business? Well, you pretty much have automatic referrals, don't you?
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
Let me ask you this, though, Erica. One of the things we do is we have a tremendous viewing audience, and we like to know what your organization can offer our viewing audience in exchange for supporting you and your organization and your efforts.
Well, because our organization in general is health based, just support. I mean, my thing is that my motto, and I often do public speaking on that topic, if not you, then you know someone who.
Absolutely.
Somebody who's positive.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
don't be afraid. Love on them. Show them that you have a genuine heart of support, and that the more you understand and the more you educate yourself, the more your mind expands to the fact that this is something that is not a curse. This is something that is a social disease, and one thing that will always be connected to HIV and being positive is poverty, and we're all living in it.
I hear you. You touch a very sensitive spot there, that's for sure, but you're absolutely right. Now, you use the word social, and I'm going to go back to the word social, because what I'm going to do now is ask you for your contact information and your social media information so that people can reach out to you.
Okay. Well, my contact information is at St. Michael's Medical Center, the Peter Ho Memorial Clinic. I'm also I'm not on Twitter, but I am on Facebook. We don't have those media outlets as we should, but like I said, once again, I'm slowly working, greasing the wheel, so then those will be opportunities moving forward. But walking into the hospital, you just say my name and okay, I know where you need to go. So there's a presence, and I continue to hold that presence with the most positive outlook that I can.
Awesome. I tell you, what you're doing is so needed, and people are now able, with your organization, to come out of the closet, come out of the shadows, and seek the help that they need. No shame in the game. Just go and get help. And that's a wonderful thing, and we're glad that you exist. We appreciate you, and I want to talk to you more about how Think and Profit might be able to help you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, we're going to take just a quick pause, and I got to pay some bills. And here's what I'm going to do: is get a little commercial here. This segment of the Matthew broadcast is sponsored by Think and Profit Consulting, a commercial finance and CFO advisory corporation. Call our convenient 800 number, 866-373-0909, extension 627. We have the solution for all of your financial and cash flow needs. You'll be glad you did. Again, toll free 866-373-0909, extension 627. When your bank says no, Think and Profit says yes. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Erica.
Thank you. I'm very, very pleased to be here.
We are joined by the one and only Tori Manning, Brick City's own social media maven on the scene. I'm happy to have her. So Tariq, the millennials in the Brick City could know that we're here.
Yeah.
Because if Tori's here, every one of her friends knows we're here. By the way, I wish I was 25 and had blue hair and the whole thing going on too. Just do your thing. Just do your thing.
And my, that's beauty going live. My phone just died.
Is Tori live? Oh, you can't get any juice from there?
Well, just the light's not here.
Ask Rod if he can help her out with something, with some power.
Okay, guys, we're going to continue to move forward. I want to move next to my second guest here. This is Altariq White. And Altariq White, would you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Well, Leaders for Life, I just want to make one correction. We're not a charter school.
Oh,
We're an
okay.
alternative high school, public.
All right.
So we are a public school. We are our own entity, but we just wanted to make that
But
clarification.
you have full autonomy from
We
the
have-
district, or you?
Well, we are
the
partners.
district
We are partners with the school district of Newark
Okay,
to provide services for that 16 to 24-year-old population
Okay.
that's been disconnected from traditional public school.
Yes.
Yeah, but so Leaders for Life is a nonprofit organization, in the city of Newark, particularly in the South Ward, providing alternative high school and after school and mentoring programs to all the residents of the city of Newark. We service about 75 students a day between the ages of 8 and 24.
Okay.
Now, what do you mean 24? That 24 is a little long for high school, Tariq.
Well, some students are disconnected from school, have been disconnected from school for quite some time. The great people at Leaders for Life, we bring them back and help them get their high school diploma. We also provide them with job readiness training,
All right.
soft skills training, and even job preparation, as well as job placement. So some of those kids are a little older. They've been disconnected for 4 to 5 years. So it's a little difficult to try to get them back, but we have dealt with some young people that were
That's awesome.
22, 23,
That's
24 years of age.
That's awesome, because if you can get them to come back,
Absolutely.
that's saying something.
Absolutely.
Are you having any of your population coming in that may have been incarcerated in the past?
Well, in the past, currently, it's still getting incarcerated. That's one of the things we try to help them do. Most of these kids have been on their own, so to speak. So
Yes.
they've done certain things
Mhm.
to survive, and then we
Right.
don't judge them. We bring them in and try to help them the best way we can. Me being from that particular community, it's very important that I give back to that community. I've been, since moved on to the board, but the people that are employed for Leaders for Life do a wonderful job of identifying that population, providing support for that population, and even continuing to work with that population as they move on from us. So we do a great job of connecting those young people to other services based upon the partnerships that we've created throughout the city of Newark.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing that you guys are doing, because among all the other things, it's going to give these young people life skills
Absolutely.
so that they can transition into the society and begin to get work
Absolutely.
and as you say, perhaps even pursue higher education.
Absolutely.
You'll never know. Moreover, entrepreneurial
Absolutely.
skills that they need
Absolutely.
to go and start their own job.
Absolutely.
It's interesting because last May and June of last year, we graduated in this country somewhere in the neighborhood of over 100,000 kids out of bachelor, a master, and PhDs out of these
Right.
colleges around the country.
Hmm.
Well, if 10% of them got a job in their chosen field, they were lucky.
Right.
And so it's incumbent upon us, therefore, to begin to teach more about entrepreneurial opportunities
Absolutely.
and inspire them to go in that direction. And we cut down in the recidivism as well.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things that I am so excited about. Every chance I get, I try to get involved with that kind of program.
Well, absolutely. When you think about that number, I'm going to throw another number out there to you. There, right now, currently, there are over 5,000 young people between the age of 16 and 21 in the city of Newark without a high school diploma. They just disconnected from school. So that is a very large number. If it's hard for a college graduate with a master's and PhD to find jobs,
Yes.
what do you think these kids going to be able to do?
Absolutely.
And that's why we have such a high crime rate.
Yes.
So
yes.
we have to be, we have to, pool our resources and pull those kids back in and help them get, number one, we just don't want to give them a high school diploma. We want to give them a skill set.
Absolutely.
Job readiness training.
Absolutely.
Have them go out and be able to look for a job
Yes.
and be certified and have a skill set to be able to go on to that job. And another important thing we do is have partnerships with colleges and unions and for kids to go out. Everybody's not going to want to go to college, so we
Right.
have to find other avenues and other venues for these kids to get into.
No, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
College is not the answer for everyone.
Right.
Tariq, let me just ask you really quickly. Give us some success stories of some of the young people that you've helped, because I know your work.
Right.
But my viewers don't know your work.
Well-
So tell me some of the success stories of which you're most proud.
Well, we started out with 23 young people between the ages of 16 and 24. We've graduated 7 so far. And we still have an additional 13, 14 that's still in the program. We just added, as we graduate the 7, we added a new group.
Okay.
So we're currently moving these kids through this process,
Okay.
and they all are employed.
Okay. That's wonderful.
All 7 are, well, 6, and we're looking to employ the 7th one. So, but they're all employed. For the after-school program, our reading rates in that particular area, boys were reading, only 32% of the young people in that area were reading on grade level. Well, in our program, 75% of the kids read on grade level.
that's awesome.
So we're doing, and I say we because, I'm on the board now, but the people there at Leaders for Life are doing a tremendous job of educating these young people.
Right.
They come to you as they are, and we providing them with direction and
Right.
an action plan to get them where they need to be. So
Right.
we're doing a wonderful job in terms, and then the mentoring component is just. I mean, we have a group of young men that were continuously being disruptors in schools, being suspended, and just doing unnecessary things. But it's safe to say that we've cut that down by 90%.
Oh, that's awesome.
Their dropout rate and their behavior rate. So we're doing a tremendous job over at Leaders for Life in terms of supporting the young people in that particular community.
That's awesome.
The goal is to grow. The goal is to get more resources and partner up with more people to provide different services. I mean, I think this medical piece in terms of these young people, particularly in the high school, they are having unprotected sex,
Yeah.
but we can provide that education with them.
Absolutely.
We can kind of cut down on that number of rates of people being affected.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations for being on the board, sir. So Tori, you got all the millennials in Brick City about to hear this. Congratulations on local control coming back to Newark, New
Yes,
Jersey after
yes,
20-something
yes,
years.
yes.
That's what I want to talk
Yes,
about.
yes.
How long have you had this program in place?
Leaders for Life has been in operation for about 8 years. We've been incorporated as a 501 nonprofit organization, 501c3 nonprofit organization for the past 5 years.
Okay.
Currently, we've been at the location of 84 Clinton Place, Newark,
Okay.
New Jersey, for the past 5 years. And since our doors open, we service over 1,000 young kids that
Wow.
have come through our
That's
program
awesome.
and have benefited from the wonderful job that the people over at Leaders for Life are doing. So, yeah.
Awesome. And so you're being capitalized by, I know you're partnering with the Board of Education, so they're assisting you financially. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how are you finding other grant funding?
Well, we are. We're very, very happy to be. Our biggest supporter is the Victoria Foundation.
Okay.
Those wonderful people over there do a wonderful job of supporting all our programs. Investors Bank,
Okay.
PPAC Gladstone Bank,
Okay.
Youth Bill. We've partnered with Youth Bill, and now the City of Newark has partnered with us to provide some service. We since got a grant through the Essex County Labor Department to provide some services. So we're continually growing. Our job, our job is not to be this great big old organization. We just want to be a little organization that do big work.
I got you.
You never have enough money because the more money, the more services we can
Right.
provide. But we're looking to partner with people that just want to do in-kind services as well. We have a lot of individual organizations that do in-kind services. So we're growing. We're doing the great work. Again, I can't say. The staff over at Leaders for Life do a tremendous job of providing the resources and the energy in the programmatic area that we do over at Leaders for Life is just fantastic.
Let me give a shout out to one of your key staff members who's here with you.
Oh, Giovanni Jacobs, she runs there. She runs the place. You do the day-to-day operations. She does a wonderful job in terms of in all aspects of Leaders for Life. Do a tremendous job. She's me.
Yeah,
She's me. She's took over for me because I'm on the board now. But my job is to support the programs. But she does a great job in making sure everything is ran the way they're supposed to be ran.
Awesome. So, one of the questions here that I have on my list, it says, what is the unique value of your business? Well, we already know what the unique value of your business is.
Well, I can tell you what the unique value of my business is. As these young people grow up, you're going to have a more healthier workforce.
Yes.
You're going to have a more educated workforce. You have young people who have the opportunity and have the skill set to go out and look for work and provide to the economy, not just take away from the economy. So that's how I look at it. I look at it, globally,
Yes,
economically.
changing lives
Absolutely.
in a positive way.
Absolutely.
And as they grow and they become job earners,
Absolutely.
wage earners, they're contributing to the economy.
Absolutely.
Locally
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
nationally.
Well, Victor Hugo said it. He who builds a school closes a prison.
Yes.
That's our motto.
Yes, and we gotta continue to build more schools.
Exactly.
Because these prisons, we need to close them down, especially
Absolutely.
because they're private.
They're populated by us.
Private corporations now.
And they're populated by young African American
Unfortunately.
men. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But people like you and organizations like yours need to
One of
flourish around the country.
Absolutely.
One of the very insidious things about the prison industrial complex, though, Tariq, and you can reflect on it a little bit if you want to, is that I was told that incarcerated individuals, male and female, produce about $8 billion worth of goods that are sold in the American economy. So they're not there doing
Well, let's
nothing.
state the facts. Let's state the facts. Here in the state of New Jersey, a prison inmate gets is worth $66,000 a year.
In terms of his
In terms of him being in that prison.
Yes.
But they give me $9,000 to educate him.
Yes.
And currently we have over 15,000 young people, and 65% of that are young African American men.
Absolutely.
So we have to look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
6,000.
The numbers don't lie.
That ended up being modern slavery.
Absolutely.
Ken, as you go on, I have a couple of questions. You can come back to Tariq and Erica.
Sure.
But I have a question from Tracy here who wants to know, Ken, she wants a commercial loan for her business, and how long is the process from application to decision?
Well, generally speaking, we quote a time frame between 30 and 45 days, normally speaking. Each transaction stands on its own. There are variables that are unique to that business application. So we can't give any numbers, but if all of the things that we need are in place, complete, all of the nuances are there that we can work on to process the loan. Generally, it takes between 30 and 45 days. Okay?
Second question,
Sure.
Ken. What are the types of real estate loans this person wants to buy and fix up? She was hearing Tariq speaking and saying that she was told that the city of Newark is selling properties very cheaply to people who want to live in the properties and also to investors like her. What kind of financing for investors do you have?
Good question. Good question. Here's how Think and Profit does it. We are a commercial lender. However, if you are an investor and you are buying a one-family property to rent, not to live in, it's an investment property. It's a commercial loan, and we can do that loan. Conversely, if you have a four-family property and you're buying it to live in, then that is a residential property, and we can't finance it. We do commercial lending. If you are buying 10 properties and you want to fix those 10 properties up and sell them and flip them, and we finance those all day long. If you're an investor looking to buy an apartment building, we'll finance it. Again,
You know, it's interesting. I'm going to ask both of these people. Both of you are people with substantial influence. Both have circle of influences. I'm kind of surprised at how many people I'm out in the street when we go out and do events. I'm asked to do some appearances publicly. Also own some real estate. Erica, have you ever invested in real estate?
No, I've never had the opportunity to.
Would you be interested in
Oh,
investing?
most certainly. I mean, currently, I am just been, and I didn't speak to you about it earlier, but I've just been accepted for a second master's at New Jersey City University.
All
So I'm venturing off into educational psychology. So I'll be partnering with you.
Oh,
Tariq, have you invested in real estate?
I'm glad you asked that question. Absolutely. And now we're going to reach out to the money Carter. I am currently putting together a budget for 2 properties that we have acquired in the city of Newark to refurbish and to, you like to use the word flip. We're going to fix them back up and resell them and take the earnings and put back into the organization for programming. So we definitely going
That's
to
what we
reach
do.
out to you guys. I'm currently working on the budget of for the rehab.
okay.
Definitely, I'm going to be calling you tomorrow.
Awesome. I'll make sure
Definitely
I give you my
tomorrow.
contact.
Absolutely,
And-
absolutely.
And
Well, we're gonna have an opportunity for you guys to get to know each other better. Directly after the broadcast, we have a reception downstairs in the restaurant for about an hour, where we have about 25 or so business owners that want to meet our guests. They want to meet you. Pick your brain, ask you some questions about that. These are people who own businesses in the community. I know you have your children with you, so they can sit down and eat with us and see what Dad does. And I know, Tori, you got all of the millennials looking in so they can see what grown folk do, because they're the next group. I mean, you're talking about Newark's future with local control back in place is about her generation.
Absolutely.
We want them to have every opportunity, and as we talk about the possibility of bringing Amazon to Newark, I don't know if we have $5 billion to it's almost like we blackmailing them to come, or, but guess what? 50,000 jobs is a lot of jobs. So, there's opportunity everywhere, and people like you are making it happen. The two of you are difference makers. That's game changers, and that's real, and we need that in urban communities all the time, and we've got to do better. And I know both of you well, and I know both of you are nonstop working and continue to be difference makers and create more change. So, Tori, we want your generation to join them, and I know that folks like you are interested in making the community better. Newark, East Orange, Irvington, all over Essex County. So we have an opportunity to continue as a collective to continue to build. I see my friend Angelo McCutcheon, Pastor Angelo McCutcheon from the Credit Repair Show. All he does is fantastic credit repair, and he's on deck here on GEMS TV. But I want to get back to Ken as we close out this segment of the Matthews broadcast. Ken, and
yes, I want to first thank the both of you for joining us this evening and giving all the information about your organization to our audience, because we're going to need to get behind you and support you and collaborate with you as we go forward. You're doing great stuff. But let me just pay some bills. This segment of the Matthews broadcast is sponsored by Think and Profit Consulting, a commercial finance and CFO advisory corporation. Call our convenient toll-free number today at 866-373 0909, extension 627. We have the solution to solve all your financial cash flow needs. You'll be glad you did.
well,
Again, toll free, 866-373 0909, extension 627. When your bank says no, we say yes. Thank you so much.
I think somebody out there is feeling that. Sarah Abernathy here says she has gotten a loan to Think and Profit from Ken Carter. Was a real estate loan. Great experience, high professionalism, absolute unquestioned integrity, and would say to our office, the best people to call in the business are...
Think and
What's
Profit.
that number one one more time.
866-373-0909, extension 627. We answer promptly.
All right, all right. I want to thank both of you for being here. It's a privilege to consider both of you friends. It's a greater privilege to know that both of you are about service. You know, it's often been said, if you want to be great, you got to serve somebody first. And so dreamers and difference makers like you are what makes our community better. We are not here on the Matthews broadcast to talk about your limitations, but about your possibilities and about where you can go and how high you can fly. We want to be the wind beneath your wings. And so as we close out this segment of the broadcast, we want to remind you, the greatest audience in the world, there are two types of people in the world. Dreamers like you and all of you in the reception area, and certainly you in here, and dream killers. Embrace the first and run like heck from the second. This is Stan Matthews, Ken Cash Money Carter, saying good night and God bless.